Hello everybody and a very good evening and welcome to, the Monday edition of Guddnite, Grenada. I'm George Grant, just coming up on 1 minute after 8 o'clock. Hey folks, thank you very much for being so loyal and coming around to spend at least a part of your evening. I would imagine before you settle down to watching the boob tube, Actually, I shouldn't be making fun of the boob tube anymore because now that we are on, YouTube, we are, for many of you out there in the United States, on the boob tube as well. So watch what you say, Georgie Porgy, watch what you say. May come back to haunt you, eh? Okay, so there you have it. That's our opening salvo, and right now let's take a look at the rundown and see what sort of mischief we're going to be getting to over the next hour. I guess you heard the news today. Actually, we're going to save this for last, but it has been announced that apparently, they seem pretty confident that there is another case of the virus, or another carrier, if you will, of the virus in town. Yeah. Press conference was called this afternoon to tell the Grenadian people about that. And I'm going to run that for you a little later on. It's pretty short, but I'd like you to see for yourself what was said. For those of you who were not able to see it when we carried it live this afternoon, okay? I'm also going to share with you a couple of lists. One list is about who's open for business this week. Let me tell you, open for business, my foot. I was downtown this afternoon. A lot of places were open. I went to Digicel, I went to Foodland, and a number of other places, and yeah, they were open for business. But let me tell you, nobody out there. Yeah, people running around looking like Miss Piggy with their masks and gloves, but hardly anybody on the streets. Hardly anybody. The market, well, forget it. Nobody in the market, you know. So I do have a list here which was put out by the government explaining to you who is going to be allowed to do business, I think 3 days this week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'm going to share that with you because I'm sure that things have started to pile up for you like they have for me and so many other people. Yeah, so we're going to want to find out what's able to take care of our business this week. Then there's another list that was put out this time by Grenlec, and it's titled 9 Things Every Grenlec Customer Should Know. We're going to share that with you as well. Okay? So then let me take another look. I looked a few minutes ago, but I did not see the national report. Yaman, the national report. It's actually going on right now, so by the time we get ready for them, they'll be up on Facebook. Yeah, so there will be a national report tonight, okay? Well, that's good news. That's good news. Now, let me just do 2 little clicks here. You know, I'd like to make sure everything's kinda current. Yeah, we're current now. Then, I also want to show you a press conference which took place this morning, Pilgrims. Yaman, yeah, there was a press conference this morning put on by the Royal Grenada Police Force. 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock. Well, that's what they said it would be, 7 o'clock. So, we're all up. Brush your teeth and wash your face and get ready for press conference. You know, I find it really appalling. There have been, I don't have to tell you, there have been several press conferences since this whole episode began. And you know something, folks? I have been there for the majority of them. Some of them I just decided, hey, enough is enough, okay? But I've been there for the majority of them. And you know what? Not a single press conference, not one, nada, ningun, has started on time. Come on, let's be real. You know that from time to time, you know, things go wrong and there will be the inevitable delays. But how many press conferences have these people had since this thing started? Not one. Some of them are 5 minutes late, 10 minutes late. I don't mind that. 15 minutes late, yeah. 40 minutes late? Come on. Doesn't that show disrespect to you, the Grenadian people? Let's tell them 6 o'clock. If we show at 6 o'clock and we don't, big deal. Let them be there at 6 o'clock. That's what they're doing to you. And it's shameful. And it speaks volumes about the mentality of our governance. You can't even be on time for a press conference? Please. Why bother telling people a time? Say, hey, listen, we're going to have a press conference sometime tomorrow afternoon. Show up. Might be better than telling people press conference like this morning, 7 o'clock. And it starts, what, 7:15, 20 after 7, somewhere down the road? Come on, man. Come on. Show some respect for the people you govern. Hey! Enough. Let's take, have I? Yeah, I think I completed the rundown. Let me take a look here at social media. Good evening, everyone, says Trini62. Well, good evening to you too, Trini62. What you got to eat? What you got to eat? Nothing? Go back to your room. Ryan is saying good evening, GG. TF Richards. Hello, Theo Richards. He's saying good evening from Missouri. He says, hope all is well. Yeah, man, everything's just fine here. And Trini is saying to him, you're in the show me state, eh? My old stomping ground. Oh, I didn't know you were in the show me state at one time, Trini. Ryan is saying, did you have your mask on, George? Yes. I don't go anywhere without my mask nowadays, and I'm proud to look like Miss Piggy. Yeah. Hello, Margaret. Margaret Rello. Good to see you, girl. Tia Richards, obviously, Tia Richards obviously likes the state of Missouri. Years ago, I spent a month in Missouri, traveling around the states, and people invited me up there to spend a month and give my testimony about my healing of cancer, my cancer cure, yeah? Being cured of cancer. Spend the week traveling around Missouri. I really liked it there too, so yeah. I agree with you, Teo, it's nice there. Ryan says, punctuality is not their strong point. Wait a minute. If she isn't a tease, I don't know what the heck is. Remember a little while ago I asked what's her name, Trini62, what's on the menu tonight? Roti. Theo, Come pick me up, the man. Drive me over to Brooklyn. You're in Missouri? Drive me over to Brooklyn. And I'm sure that Ryan would like to hitch a ride as well as Margaret Frello. Yeah? Oh. Theo Richard says, didn't know you were a survivor. Yes, Theo. Oh, boy. One of these days, one of these days you might hear that testimony. Cancer, asthma, pulmonary embolism. Boy, I don't know what the heck to describe me as. Been through a lot. Ryan, you just blew it. Ryan says here, goat roti. No, Ryan. No. Chicken roti? Veggie roti? Lamby roti? Goat? No. No, Ryan. Please. Oh. Okay, pilgrims. Now, let's start getting serious here. I mentioned to you that the Royal Grenada Police Force, they had a press conference this morning, the wee hours of the morning. Got started about 20 after 7. And I'd like you to hear what the commissioner had to say. He provided a very comprehensive update on what's going to be taking place now that they've made some modifications to the state of emergency, the laws, the what do you call them? Not the policies. Oh my God, it's just slipped me. Anyhow, the rules. Check this out.
I must hasten to indicate that the only call for the press brief is driven by nothing further than our passion to ensure that you, the members of the public, are adequately informed and to afford an opportunity to clear up any sense of ambiguity or doubt as we get into our first day of business activity. Hence the reason why we put forward the press brief for 7 o'clock this morning. However, before getting into the substantive matter that embodies the law enforcement approach we're going to take in policing the next 7 days, there are 3 matters I would like to make reference to. First, as you are well aware, and unfortunately so, we have recorded our 8th homicide for the year. This is absolutely uncharacteristic, sad, depressing, and all efforts must be made for us to reverse this trend that seems to be an average of 2 homicides a month. In this context, I strongly appeal for tolerance, patience, and respect in dealing with each other and in our quest to resolve issues of dispute. I want to urge members of the public to use the RGPF and, where appropriate, alternative third-party interventions to resolve conflict. I also appeal to community leaders and persons with influence in the community to engage individuals as a means of ensuring that we keep the peace and that any situation does not escalate into homicides or any sort of violent acts. The second issue I want to refer to is driving through roadblocks during a state of emergency. We've had 2 such incidents in the past week. One incident, there was a genuine case of a medical emergency. And in the other case, it was sheer belligerence and a total lack of respect for law and order. I must compliment the officers at those respective checkpoints at the material point in time for the exhibiting of tremendous restraint in their courses of action. For if they had done otherwise, the outcomes could have been catastrophic. And I want to therefore here remind members of the public that a state of emergency is a very serious situation. And while you may have a justified case of emergency, it does not justify you driving through a roadblock recklessly. I want to urge you to go up to the officers at the block, explain your situation. Our police officers have been briefed and know what are the exceptions in a state of emergency and to exercise discretion in responding to those. So please work with us in those circumstances. I must indicate, however, that in both cases, the individuals involved has been arrested and charged. Finally, I want to appeal to us as a people and also appeal to our respective media houses to be a bit more responsible in the use of social media and the posting of information. We are all challenged with the fight against a very formidable disease, and we should not have to spend valuable time responding to false, irresponsible rumor and scaremongering messages. Last night, I received a flood of messages and phone calls to answer to a rumor that the RGPF Coast Guard turned back a Vincentian vessel with food and cooking gas for Pity Martinique. I want to state here that this is absolutely false. I have spent a number of time speaking to the commanders of Carriacou and our Coast Guard in an effort to verify this issue over and over again. And just repeatedly say that this is false, and again I call on individuals to be a bit more responsible in how we treat with social media and the posting of information. And wherever there is an issue involving the actions of the RGPF, rumor or otherwise, I want to ask us members of the public and media houses where appropriate to please call for verification. It is unfortunate when an established media outfit would publish such a story without any attempt to first verify. This is indeed sad, and I trust it would be the last that we will have such an incident. I now move my focus to addressing the various issues that will be involved for the next 7 days in our COVID-19 operations. And I will confine my comments here to the businesses and activities that are approved to operate. If you do not hear your business, entity or agency, or if you are in doubt as to whether or not you should be operating, feel free to call into the RGPF to seek verification. But for the period April 20th to 27th, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, as previously articulated, will be business days from the hours of 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. I must hasten to indicate, however, that our supply chain, which is the sales vans, wholesalers, and delivery trucks, will operate Monday to Friday. The fact that supermarkets, shops, and will be opened every other day, we must do the supply chain every day of the week to ensure that they are adequately topped up. So the supply chain will operate every day of the week. Additionally, our manufacturers that are approved to operate will also operate every day of the week, Monday to Friday. In addition to this, and going back to the Monday, Wednesday, Friday operation, the following businesses, entities, and activities are so approved. Accountants with firms that needs to go in and deal with finances and salaries and other related matters. Bakeries are also approved to operate. Banks, credit unions, billing a loan and money remittances, such as Western Union and MoneyGram. Butchers have been included as well. Our commercial ports continues to operate as have been, and there is no change to that. But on the issue of barrels, I know that has been an area of concern, and I want to add a bit of clarity. I need to state here that operating under the direction of Cabinet and in close collaboration with the COVID-19 committee, who directs the RGPF activities and who constantly responds to the concerns and needs of our population, we have been making some changes, and all of the announcements I've made so far are as a result of those changes. As it relates specifically to barrels, it has already been decided that commencing today, Compass Shipping will start to distribute the barrels that that company has, but it will be done in a controlled manner. Compass will contact on a daily basis and on the days of operation, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, specific individuals that should be coming to collect the barrels. If you have not been contacted, do not go to Compass Shipping. Wait until you are called, and over a period of time, I'm sure everyone will be engaged. So Compass Shipping will start the operations today. Also today on the issues of barrel, we are finalizing discussions, and Customs will be leading a meeting with the agents responsible for shipping barrels to finalize a process for clearing of barrels at the port. Once this is finalized, members of the public will be informed, and I want to anticipate that that will kick in relatively soon. Also in the provisions, we are providing opportunities for eye care providers to operate. Farming and fishing continues to operate as previously described. And in terms of farming and farmers and the sale of produce, that will continue to operate at the parish level with the established farmers markets. Gas stations will be open 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. on the Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and this is also open for the first time to members of the public as well. Hardware store, retail outlets, veterinarians, and wholesale grocery stores and shops. So our supermarkets and our shopping, as we have been accustomed to, will operate Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We will see for the first time the removal of the parish boundaries on those days, the Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, on those business days, to allow individuals to cross border. However, you will not see the opening up of the public transport system at this point in time. So that's as much as the information I will want to provide you at this point in time. And if there are areas of questions, we will deal with it in the question segment to add further clarity. I thank you very much and pass it back to Ms. Robertson.
Thank you very much, Commissioner, for that update as it relates to overall operations and the regulations that are in place for this week. We go now to Superintendent Vani Cowan of the Community Relations Department.
Thank you very much, Ms. Robinson, and good morning to the listening and viewing public. Another of our press brief. Sorry we have to wake you up this early this morning, but it was very necessary for us to get this message over to you. Notwithstanding all of what the Commissioner would have said, the RGPF continue its operational focus not only on dealing with the state of emergency, but also focusing on crimes in general and ensuring that Grenada remains safe and secure. So I'm going to provide just a few bits of operational results that we have had over the last week or so. And just to let the public know that all of our focus are not towards the Emergency Powers Act and not towards the state of emergency, but we continue to do what we are mandated to do in ensuring that Grenada Carrier Quality Mandate remains safe, that our criminal elements are being focused on, and the crimes that are committed are being investigated and arrests have been made. In recent days, we were fortunate enough to arrest a gentleman in the south of the island for being in possession of a flat-screen television. From this one arrest, we were able to serve 4 housebreaking and stealing that have been outstanding for some time. So that's a significant result for us, a significant achievement for us going forward. On Saturday the 18th, in spite of the fact that we are under curfew and we have been advising the public to remain at home. We were able to arrest 3 gentlemen for being in possession of 379 pounds of marijuana with an estimated street value of $859,572 EC dollars. And that's a significant fine at a time when we are under lockdown, at a time when we have been urging our people to social distance, and at a time when we are under state of emergency and curfew is in effect. In recent days, we have said to the nation that we have reported the fact that we have another murder, another homicide. The Commissioner has alluded to it in his presentation. I am pleased to say to the general public that sometime during the course of today, we will be able to charge someone in relation to that murder. We will be able to charge someone in relation to that murder, and that will bring closure to this 8th homicide that we have had, very unprecedented, as the Commissioner has indicated. But we continue to do what we have to do. We continue to focus on the Emergency Powers Act. We continue to focus on the state of emergency, but we also continue to focus on crimes in general and operational issues of the police force. So I do not want the public to think that our focus is one-dimensional, but we continue to do successfully what we are mandated to do, which is to keep Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique as safe as we can possibly do. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Superintendent Cohen. Now, many of you may have been wondering what is the role of the National Disaster Management Agency in all of this. Superintendent Sylvan McIntyre is here this morning, and he will be explaining NADMA's role.
Good morning to everyone, the viewing and listening public, and wherever you are within the diaspora, wherever you are in the world, pleasant day to you. I would like to first thank every one of you for your patience, your support, your tenacity to the extent, and I want to say special thanks to the leadership of this process, the Honorable Prime Minister, Ministry of Health, and the RGPF for its sterling support and its operational functions that has been so effective over the period of time. I would just like to, at this moment, provide some clarity in terms of our functions as the National Disaster Management Agency. As you would appreciate and understand, some of you, if not all, that we are an agency that is positioned to provide national coordination of any state activity. As it stands, later on this day, we would be doing a press release that would give further clarity as to exactly and more details as to exactly what function we are now positioned to do. This COVID situation, as has been well articulated, is a novel situation. We've not dealt with it before. It has been declared a global, it's a pandemic, and therefore it requires a different level of response. The National Disaster Management Agency is positioned to facilitate aspects of this process. And I would like to repeat that it's a process and it is incremental. It goes in stages, and therefore our activities and role may not be necessary at all stages. However, we have been in the background, we have been part of the system, and we have been providing useful support to the national structure. As it stands, our press release later will articulate the structure that we have been operating under for the past couple weeks. We are enshrined within the function of the national system. That is the function of the special appointed cabinet subcommittee that is responsible for directing all of its activities. We form the link between the RGPF and that committee, and we give physical, or we would give virtual support to the overall operation. The committee has approved a coordinating structure that includes the Commissioner of Police, the National Disaster Coordinator that represents NADMA, the manager of the Maurice Bishop International Airport, the Ports Authority, the Social Services, Ministry of Education, the COVID Coordinator, the CMO, and permanent secretaries that will be co-opted based on the activities that are going to be rolled out or should be rolled out. Our functions, therefore, on a daily basis will include the routing of information. We facilitate any inquiries, and we direct and route anything that is relevant to the specific area, meaning that if any member of the public has a concern, a query, or would need further explanation or direction relative to anything that has been declared or rolled out by the RGPF, or as a matter of fact, any state entity Most ministries are not operating. Most government functions are performing virtually, and persons may not necessarily have the means of contacting these people. And this is exactly where we come in. We provide a supporting role for persons to be given the relevant information and to be directed accordingly. We've had 2 success cases that I would like to really speak about. There was one lady who had a very serious medical issue, and she sought guidance as to how this medication, not available in the Caribbean or in Grenada for that matter, and had to come out of the United States. And she was going around and wanted some clarity because that medication was needed for her daughter who was in dire need of it. She spoke to us at the agency. We were able to facilitate that process. We were able to tell her how that could have happened. She called back 2 days later and she was elated. She was expressing gratitude and thanks to the process that we were able to help her with. And there are a number of others, but that in itself is really a success story. The other issue is one of, and listeners, viewers, you would appreciate that with this situation, there would be new vulnerables that would be identified. And in such a case, we would facilitate persons identifying anyone out there who they consider to be needy or who is very vulnerable. I wish to say at this point, we are not in a relief distribution mode. We are not distributing packages. We are in a pandemic, we are in emergency mode, and I wish to really strongly articulate that this is not a disaster, but we are positioned and we are prepared in the event that the situation escalates. And this is exactly where we are. So what we are doing is facilitating the process. One person indicated to us that they identified some persons, or a few persons, yes, that were considered needy. And our questions were, how do you identify and how do you justify such person as being needy? And some justification were provided. What we did was facilitated that information to the Social Services Department and Ministry that has sole responsibility for that. They were able to back that up against the list of vulnerables and needs that they have, and there it was, they were able to explain the process. And I am saying this to say that going forward, persons who are considered to be in need of special attention, the information come to us, we will provide it to the social services, and thereafter it would be determined as to how need would be provided. In essence, we are functioning from the NADMA headquarters at Fort Frederick. Our operating hours are between 9 and 5 p.m. And after 5 p.m., if there is any need of further services in emergency capacity, persons can call the 911. Our numbers are 440-8390 right up to 8394 or 440-0838, or you can send us email nadma@spiceisle.com. Persons are there to attend to your needs and your queries and to facilitate the process. Once again, thank you very much for your patience and your understanding of the entire COVID situation.
Thank you very much, Superintendent McIntyre. I neglected to mention at the start to offer our apologies for the delayed start this morning. We got you up early with the intention of letting you know the information before the 8 a.m. start of business, and we did start a few minutes late, so we do apologize for that. Now, we are going to move into the question and answer segment. Mikey, I acknowledge your question there. Before we turn over to our media colleagues, Superintendent Cohen, I would just like to ask, in terms of the procedures that were followed in detaining, arresting the persons in relation to the drug bust because of the pandemic that we're in, can you give us a little bit of information about the procedures that you followed in terms of safeguarding health and safety?
Well, I'm not only going to speak to that specifically, but I'm going to speak in a general terms as to how we've been protecting ourselves as an organization. And we are mandated and very strongly influenced by the Commissioner to ensure that we wear our PPEs or protective gears. And whenever we engage any person, whether it's to arrest or in a discussion, and if you drive around the country now, you will see almost 99.9% of police officers wearing their masks. In cases where they need to wear gloves, they're doing that. In cases where we need additional protective gears, we are doing that. So in the case of these arrests, these police officers, they took all of the necessary precautions to ensure that they were safe in the process and that they were protected in doing what they have to do. Obviously, the persons that we arrested at the time were not wearing any of those protective gears, and hence the reason why it was so much important for us to ensure that we protect ourselves against them, because we do not know where they came from, what sort of protocols they have been observing. But from law enforcement point of view, we have been doing everything possible and necessary to ensure that we protect ourselves.
Thank you very much, Superintendent Cohen. Mikey, you may ask your question.
Now, the first thing I want to do is to make a statement and ask my first question. Now, a story was posted by the New Today yesterday, and they trusted their source and published that article. Now, based on the comments this morning by the Commissioner of Police, they would have gotten it wrong. Unfortunately, it happens, and these are some of the challenges that we as media entities and professionals face on a day-to-day basis. And whereas I appreciate the attempt to get media houses to align themselves with responsible journalism, when a reference is made to a particular inaccuracy, I do not think it's fair to the other media houses to generalize. And that's my statement. And my question is, are persons allowed to socialize in small groups once they are observing the 6 feet social distancing during this period of this week at least?
Thank you very much, Mikey, for your question. On the first part of the question, out of an abundance of caution and not wanting to stigmatize any particular outfit, because I clearly recognize, as you have said, that mistakes and errors can be made. So the statement was chosen to make the statement in a very general context to ensure that we are all guided to exercise the necessary precautions when we treat with reporting information in a time of crisis. And addedly, and thanks for asking the question, for you afford me to fit this in, I also want to state clearly to all and sundry that the RGPF remains open and accessible. If there are any issue that we need to verify, please, our Community Relations Department is available. I think you all are well acquainted with Mr. Cohen. Contact him to seek verification so that we can minimize and mitigate as much as possible those incidents from occurring. Because when they do, irrespective of how small that might be in terms of number of incidents, the damage can be significant. So just for us to do the best that we can to mitigate and minimize these issues from happening. On the second part of the question, as it relates to gatherings, we are still in a 24-hour curfew environment. And so the concessions that has been provided is specifically to allow members of the public to carry out the different business activity and get back home. The lifting or easement, as we have said in these situations, must in no way be construed to indicate that we are out of the woods. As a matter of fact, this situation can turn in a matter of hours or days. And so we need to continue to exercise caution and be vigilant so that we do not reverse the gains that has been made. So specific to the question of gatherings, no, we do not encourage gatherings. We still remain on the arrangement where persons will carry out the activity observing the physical distancing protocols and other guidelines, and to get back home as quickly as possible from carrying out those activities. Thank you.
And I thank you, Mr. Acting Commissioner. And the reason why I stressed acting there is because a few minutes ago, I think it was Trini 6062. Hold on a second. Let me check here. Trini was asking whether or not he is. She says, George, I thought he was acting Commissioner of Police. Heard both him and Philo, and he himself used the term commissioner. Mags, I think you thought correctly. To the best of my knowledge, the man is the acting Commissioner of Police. Why am I stressing this? Mags, you know as well as I do that in Grenada, anything goes. Maybe sometime today he was appointed full-time commissioner. I don't know. But as far as I do know, he is the acting commissioner. Now, let me see here. She also says, what an interesting contrast between Grenada's NADMA, that's the National Disaster Management Agency, and the St. Lucian version, which is NEMO, N-E-M-O. She says, what an interesting contrast between Grenada's NADMA and St. Lucia's NEMO. NEMO is the lead on this in St. Lucia. And they prepared food boxes in the event that someone needed food urgently. Oh well. Yeah. Hey, Mags, in a couple of years, we'll get it right. Okay, folks, break time, and then, or should I just go straight? Yeah? No. I'll take a little break, and then I'll go to the statement that was made today, which made it clear to the Grenadian people that we do apparently have another, I say apparently, you'll find out why I'm saying apparently in just a wee bit, another possible case of COVID in this country. Hang in there.
COVID-19 spreads from person to person through the droplets that are produced when someone coughs or sneezes, which makes it easy to spread between people in close contact. Now let's get prepared to stay healthy. To reduce your chance of catching or spreading COVID-19, practice these simple everyday preventative measures. Droplets can also land on surfaces, so ensure that you wash your hands frequently for a minimum of 20 seconds or sing the happy birthday song twice. Avoid touching your face, especially your eyes, nose, and mouth. If soap and water are not readily available, use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer with an alcohol content between 60 and 90%. 70% is ideal. When you cough or sneeze, cover your nose and mouth with a flexed elbow or a tissue. Dispose of the tissue immediately and then wash your hands. If you notice someone has a fever and cough or other symptoms of respiratory illness, avoid close contact when possible. Let's all do our part to ensure that each and every Grenadian remains healthy. Our health is our collective responsibility.
Okie dokie, yeah. I'll tell you what, there's some stuff that I wanted to share with you earlier on, and I got totally carried away, so here it goes. Who's open for business this week? Well, if you're an accountant, you can go back to the office, eh? You run a bakery, bakeries are open this week, banks are open this week, credit unions, the building and loan, money remittance businesses like Western Union, etc., they're open. Butchers are open this week as well. Commercial ports, but the commercial ports are not open for residential barrels or packages. Get that straight, okay? Eye care providers are open this week. Farming and fisheries businesses, gas stations, and by the way, the gas stations are open from 6 a.m. until 5 o'clock in the evening or afternoon. Hardware stores are open. Home delivery services like groceries, restaurants, and couriers. Probably means I can order a pizza. Hey, Trini? Yeah. Couriers are open. Inland revenue is always open. Insurance companies are open. Maintenance services, house repair services, open this week. Manufacturers, medical practitioners are open. Pharmacies, drugstores, restaurants. And by the way, restaurants, they're only open for takeaway business or drive-through and delivery. Okay? Telecommunications, retail outlets are open. Like I said, this afternoon, I went down to Digicel. Veterinarians are open this week. Wholesale or retail grocery stores and shops, all open this week. Now, when I talk about open this week, I am specifically referring to today, Wednesday, and Friday. Don't walk up to any of these businesses on Tuesday or Thursday and think you're going to be taken care of. No. All right. I also mentioned to you that I wanted to share some information about Grenlec. They actually want you to know that their customer care centers for bill payments only from Wednesday, April 22nd at 8 o'clock. They'll be open on Wednesday morning, 8 o'clock, to pay bills only. All right? These are 9 things they want you to know. 1, use online banking or Grenlec's check drop. You know, they have a little check drop box to avoid payment lines. Good tip. Second tip, call phone number 237 for their 24-hour emergency and bill information. Or you can email them at customer support at Grenlec for other inquiries. Number 3, Grenlec will only open on all approved shopping days, i.e. Wednesday and Friday. Please note that each customer care center will only serve a limited number of persons on each day. Number 4, have your bill, a receipt, or account number readily available for faster service. Number 5, Grenlec is encouraging you to pay your bill, your electricity bill, to avoid large accumulated bills. Don't think that because you haven't had to pay for the last couple of weeks, you're scotch-free. No. You're going to be paying, but it's accumulating, okay? Number 6, Grenlec, and this one is going to be music to your ears, Grenlec will not be disconnecting any customers until further notice. There's the catchphrase, until further notice. Number 7, regrettably, Grenlec is not able to offer any non-bill payment services until further notice. I guess that means, like, you know, you want to get a new hookup and stuff like that. No. That's going to have to wait a little while. All right? Number 8. Until further notice, each customer must wear a mask and remain at least 6 feet away from any other person at that office or in line. Sounds fair. And finally, please carry an umbrella, water, and snacks, since wait times may be longer than usual. Boy, this afternoon I had to stand, it wasn't too long, it was only about 10 minutes, but I had to stand outside of Digicel, and that was about 3 o'clock this afternoon, and that hot sun was coming down. Boy, it was hot. So I can understand why Grenlec is telling people, carry an umbrella and some water, etc., etc., etc. Okay, my dear friends, let's take a break, and then we're going to come back. We'll do the national, and we'll save that announcement for last. Just hang on a sec. We'll save that for last.
Hey, Lynn.
Hey, neighbor.
Here's the bill I asked you to pay for me.
How did you get your electricity bill to be so low?
For one, we size our transformers just for what we need. And we unplug transformers, chargers, and other devices when they're not in use. We also replaced our light bulbs with LEDs.
They burn less energy, right?
Much less. I even replaced the seal on my refrigerator door to keep the cold air in.
And Grenlec is always advising us not to open the fridge too often.
That's right. And my family washes and irons in bulk.
With fuel prices changing all the time, how do you know if it is working?
We pay attention to the usage history table. Over time, our average usage has decreased.
So while Grenada can't control fuel prices, I can conserve energy and save money.
Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
Juve chocolates, cocoa nibs, and cocoa balls from Diamond Estate Grenada are now available at Amazon.com, Amazon.ca, Amazon.co.uk, and GrenadaMarket.com. Try the sensational touch of nutmeg and a touch of ginger chocolates, 75% dark and rich, 100% pure cocoa, and their 60% dark and sweet chocolate bars today. Amazon Prime members enjoy free shipping on these orders in the USA, Canada, and Europe. GrenadaMarket.com. When you can't come to the island, the products of the island will come to you.
Conveniently located in the Grandstand Shopping Center, for over 40 years, Food Fair has provided quality service at affordable prices. Now, grocery shopping is made easier and more convenient from the Food Fair web store.
Hey, babe. Listen, I need you to go down to Food Fair to get some groceries.
All right, no problem. Right away.
Thanks, babe. What are you doing? You're supposed to be going Food Fair to get a grocery, man.
I am, but didn't you know you can order your groceries online from the Food Fair web store?
Are you serious?
Of course. All you have to do is just to log on to www.foodfair.gd with credit card in hand, and with an order of $100 or more, Food Fair Granadas will deliver up to 3 miles away. And you don't even have to worry about your information, you know. Their safety measures are excellent.
So hold on. You just order online and Food Fair will deliver to you?
Yep.
Oh, baby, better hurry up and order, man.
I already did. They should be here any minute now.
Enjoy easy online shopping anytime from your home or office from the Food Fair web store. Food Fair, where you can fill your baskets without emptying your pockets.
Pure Grenada, the spice of the Caribbean, endeavors to be a positive source of inspiration for those dreaming of travel. We invite you to dream with us wherever you are. Dream about sipping a fresh fruity cocktail and sticking your toes into the warm white sand at Grandad's Beach. Dream about snorkeling at the world's first underwater sculpture park at Molinaire. And dream about taking a dip under the cool, cascading Concord waterfall. We are Grenada, dreaming of welcoming you back to our shores. With love from Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique.
The following is a COVID-19 update statement by Minister for Health, Social Security and International Business, the Honorable Nicholas Steele.
Fellow Grenadians, good afternoon. Today, Monday, April 20th, I inform you that there is a possible new development in the number of cases of COVID-19 here in Grenada. Consistent with our promise and practice to inform the nation in a timely manner on any new development that impacts the public safety, we are coming to you now, but with the absence of final confirmation and the necessary information on this particular case. While we await official confirmation, health officials have informed that on April 19th, an individual was admitted to the General Hospital with symptoms consistent with COVID-19. He was admitted, given a rapid test, an X-ray, and IgG-IgM test, which are showing results consistent with COVID-19. He is now isolated in the COVID-19 section of the hospital while we await official confirmation from the PCR test. We expect that result later today. As of this moment, we are treating the case as a presumptive positive. In that case, and bearing in mind this is still early in the day, I deem it necessary to highlight the following probabilities and caution. Until now, all confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Grenada have been imported or import-related. This current individual has no travel history, and as yet, we are unable to determine that the individual has had any contact with those previously infected. Health officials have already informed the employer of the individual about the possibility, and employees have been asked to self-isolate. I must caution that health officials are also concerned that there might be other individuals who have not yet started to exhibit symptoms, but who can be infected with the virus. There is also the possibility that other individuals are asymptomatic, meaning that they are carriers of the virus, but do not exhibit symptoms. They are, however, still able to transmit the disease to others. We must therefore prepare ourselves for the possibility of a community spread of COVID-19 in Grenada. We are encouraging all citizens to exercise heightened caution in the coming days and weeks as health officials carry out their rigorous investigations and contact tracing from this possible case. While we have treated every case or possibility of a case as very serious, this particular one will call for increased vigilance because we are not yet sure of the point of contact. This is why we are urging the public to please practice the measures for enhanced safety as you go about your shopping and other permitted activities. This is not only about you. This is about your family, your friends, your community, and your country. We have been urging you to frequently wash your hands and practice good hygiene. We have cautioned that you must not touch your eyes, nose, and mouth with unclean hands. More than anything, we have begged you to practice social or physical distancing of at least 6 feet. Each of these measures has been tried and proven to better protect against COVID-19. We also believe that we must continue emphasizing strongly that every time you go out in public spaces, you must always wear a mask or suitable face covering over the nose and mouth, especially in any public facility. Our health during this pandemic is our collective responsibility, and each of us must do our part to protect the other. It is the only way we can win this battle. Thank you, and God bless us all.
The preceding was a COVID-19 update statement by Minister for Health, Social Security and International Business, the Honorable Nicholas Steele.
I'm always on the move. Training, traveling, competing. So it's good to know I have Core Bank in the palm of my hand.
Introducing e-banking, one of many customer convenience services from Grenada Cooperative Bank, and there's more to come.
It's swift, simple, and secure.
Juve chocolates, cocoa nibs, and cocoa balls from Diamond Estate Grenada are now available at Amazon.com, Amazon.ca, Amazon.co.uk, and GrenadaMarket.com. Try the sensational touch of nutmeg and a touch of ginger chocolates, 75% dark and rich, 100% pure cocoa, and their 60% dark and sweet chocolate bars today. Amazon Prime members enjoy free shipping on these orders in the USA, Canada, and Europe. GrenadaMarket.com. When you can't come to the island, the products of the island will come to you.
Together with you, our customers, we energize our community.
Together with you, we energize our economy.
We are working together to give our nation a better tomorrow.
With you, we energize our future. Together, we energize our nation.
Thank you for partnering with us as we energize our Spice Island.
Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
Conveniently located in the Grenada Shopping Center, for over 40 years, Food Fair has provided quality service at affordable prices. Now, grocery shopping is made easier and more convenient from the Food Fair web store.
Hey, babe. Listen, I need you to go down to Food Fair to get some groceries.
All right, no problem. Right away.
Thanks, babe. What are you doing? You're supposed to be going Food Fair to get a grocery, man.
I am, but didn't you know you can order your groceries online from the Food Fair web store?
Are you serious?
Of course. All you have to do is just to log on to www.foodfair.gd with credit card in hand, and with an order of $100 or more, Food Fair Grenadans will deliver up to 3 miles away. And you don't even have to worry about your information, you know. The safety measures are excellent.
So hold on. You just order online and Food Fair will deliver to you?
Yep.
Oh, baby, better hurry up and order, man.
I already did. They should be here any minute now.
Enjoy easy online shopping anytime from your home or office from the Food Fair web store. Food Fair, where you can fill your baskets without emptying your pockets.
Ministry of Health engages in contact tracing for potential COVID-19 cases. Details to this story and more in the national report. Welcome back. With the details to the news for Monday, April 20th, 2020, I am Sherry-Ann Noel. The surveillance team of the Ministry of Health is engaged in contact tracing for potential COVID-19 cases in Grenada. The ministry disclosed on Monday that it is awaiting the results of a male who tested positive after displaying respiratory signs. Up to news time, the Ministry of Health was awaiting confirmation from a PCR test which was carried out earlier Monday. Health Minister Honorable Nicholas Steele explained that the patient is currently at the COVID isolation unit. He explained that the patient has no travel history, therefore the possibility of community contact cannot be ruled out.
A rapid test was conducted which showed him to be negative. An X-ray was also conducted, followed by an IgG-IgM test and a subsequent rapid test, which all returned results positive with the presence of COVID-19. He is now isolated in the COVID-19 section of the hospital and is being treated for symptoms. On 2 occasions during the last week, the individual presented to the health practitioners with breathing symptoms that he reported were developed after inhaling chemicals in his line of work. He was subsequently treated and released. Until now, all confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Grenada have been imported or import-related. This current individual in question has no travel history, and currently officials are yet to determine whether he has been in contact with any of the previously confirmed cases.
In the meantime, the ministry, based on information provided by the patient, contacted 55 individuals and asked them to self-isolate.
Employees have been asked to self-isolate. All of the employees and everyone known to be in contact with this individual will be tested, consistent with the established health protocols. The investigation is still in its very early stage, but we must prepare ourselves for the possibility of a community spread of COVID-19 in Grenada. As of 3:30, when I spoke to the team, they had somewhere between 55 and 70 individuals that had been contacted and told to quarantine themselves and await further instructions from the ministry with respect to them possibly being tested as early as tomorrow, depending on when they interacted with the individual, and further later days, and also to observe whether they develop any symptoms or not.
Moving along, the Ministry of Education says it is capable of staging examinations online in 2020 due to the impacts of COVID-19. The announcement was made on Sunday during a press conference to update the nation on the way forward for education, considering the fact that schools remain closed until further notice. Grenada is one of the first countries to launch the experiment with electronic testing, e-testing. Education Minister Honorable Emmeline Pierce said the region is awaiting the final decision on examinations from the Caribbean Examinations Council. She said the council proposed the June and July schedule for CXC, CPA, and CAPE exams.
No local examination will be administered during this period. Concerning external examination, CXC has indicated its intention to proceed with CPEA, CSEC, and CAPE in June and July of this year. However, the Examination Council has indicated that they are still monitoring the situation in the region and will act accordingly.
Minister Pierce says Grenada has written to CXC requesting a deferral for exams until September 2020. She said if CXC decides otherwise, sufficient time will be needed to put measures in place so students and teachers can adequately prepare for the exams.
We believe that ideally, we will need to be back in school about 6 weeks before the exams officially start. We have analyzed the situation carefully and concluded that if these exams must begin in June, and if school remains closed officially, we can put contingency measures in place to support students to sit the exams. We have indicated to CXC that our recommendation is for these exams to be deferred to September. However, we do understand that the ultimate decision will be made after final assessment of the regional situation and review of recommendations from all member states. I therefore encourage everyone concerned to be wise and to continue to prepare for all regional exams just in case they start at the end of June.
Head of the Examinations Unit, Michelle Peters-George, boasts 60% of Paper 1 subjects can be done through electronic means.
Grenada is one of the forerunners, I must tell you, in terms of e-testing. We were one of the first countries to move towards the e-testing offered by the Caribbean Examinations Council, where we have for CSEC, for instance, more than half, over 60% of our subjects are already being done, paper 1 that is, it has already been done through electronic means. So that's something that we have to look forward to. However, in terms of the CPA aspect of it, we're looking to turn our secondary schools into centers, whereas in the past we looked at primary schools as centers for the examination. We're looking at the secondary schools so that we can accommodate that, because this would be the first time that the Caribbean Examinations Council will be offering the e-testing for the CPA examination.
The Royal Grenada Police Force has categorically denied an online media report which stated that the Grenada Coast Guard had turned back a boat from St. Vincent bringing food and cooking gas to people of Petit Martinique. Addressing the matter during a press conference on Monday, Acting Commissioner of Police Edwin Martin said there is no truth to the report.
Last night, I received a flood of messages and phone calls to answer to a rumor that the RGPF Coast Guard turned back a Vincentian vessel with food.
Have you seen the hair?
Gas for Petit Martinique.
Did you see the WhatsApp I just sent to you?
I want to state here that this is absolutely false. I have spent a number of time speaking to the commanders of Carriacou and our Coast Guard in an effort to verify this issue over and over again. And just repeatedly saying that this is false. And again, I call on individuals to be a bit more responsible in how we treat with social media and the posting of information.
The police commissioner appeals for a greater level of professionalism, which can be achieved through verification before publication.
It is unfortunate when an established media outfit would publish such a story without any attempt to first verify. This is indeed sad, and I trust it will be the last that we will have such an incident.
I just hope
the national report. More news after the break.
Because Nicky always come in there with his shirt over his pants and he wearing jeans.
COVID-19. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. If soap and water are not available, use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer with at least
I'm sure that came straight from Philo.
Use a tissue when blowing your nose, sneezing, or coughing. Immediately discard the tissue properly and wash or sanitize your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Let's do our part to ensure that each and every Grenadian remains healthy. To stay up to date, visit the Government of Grenada's webpage or the Ministry of Health's Facebook page. For more information, contact the Ministry of Health's hotline by calling 53.
That's the Rastafarian girl. She has a big Rasta that's always in the covered up. She works with GBN. I can't remember her name.
Welcome back. The Ministry of Education continues to devise innovative ways to engage students using e-learning platforms. Recognizing that not all households have access to the required devices, the ministry has procured 15,000
we're learning.
devices
I'm kind of enjoying this Corona season.
Schools. The announcement by Minister for Education, Human Resource Development, Religious Affairs and Information, Honorable Emily Pear, during a press conference on Sunday.
While we are reasonably satisfied with the emergency measures taken to provide content, we are quite aware that there are still households that do not have computers.
Who refuses US? Come on, who
Since
refuses
most
US
homes
money? You're
have
joking
at
or what?
least one cell phone, we have been encouraging parents to use their cell phone at this time,
Grenlec?
primarily to connect
I'm sure you
with
can.
teachers.
I'm sure you can. Sure,
Recognizing the challenges, we have gone one step.
I've never done it, but I don't think Grenlec would refuse.
We have ordered
I went and I
approximately
paid
15,000
Digicel
devices,
today.
of which
I have to pay Grenlec.
9,600 will come installed with
Grenlec told
about
me today
18 e-books
they have not read
for
my
secondary
meter
school
since
students.
September,
Permanent Secretary Kevin
October,
Anders says the
November,
allocation of tablets will
December,
be done in
January.
phases at both levels.
Because I have a dog in my yard.
Distribution of
It's
the tablets would be
the
based
first
on
I'm hearing
students without a device. Our education officers, they have been working with the principals and teachers in the last few weeks to determine the students who don't have a device. Because I would say to you, we cannot provide every student with a device as of now. But we are making sure, for the primary school I'm speaking about, for the secondary school, the 9,000 devices we're going to get tablets would be for every student at the secondary school and every teacher. And these tablets would have the e-books system on it. In the primary school, however, we are looking to provide for the students who don't have a device at this time.
And with that story, we come to the end of the National Report for Monday, April 20th, 2020. On behalf of the entire news and production team, I am Sherry Ann Noel, thanking you for viewing.
Yes, sirree. There you have it. Today's edition or tonight's edition of the National Report from the GIS. Just one little note here from John tonight. John says, didn't we hear every child will have a tablet 2 years ago? John, yes, I did hear that. But I think I was smart enough to not believe it would happen in my lifetime, and kind of disappointed, John, because the last time I checked, you were a little bit older than I am, and I'm surprised, not smarter than I am. There you have it, John. Anyhow, folks, let me take a little break here, and we'll come back and pull the curtain down on the Monday edition of Good night, Grenada.
Wait to see my granddaughter.
COVID-19 spreads from person to person through the droplets that are produced when someone coughs or sneezes, which makes it easy to spread between people in close contact. Now let's get prepared to stay healthy.
To reduce your chance of catching or spreading COVID-19, practice these simple everyday preventative measures. Droplets can also land on surfaces, so ensure that you wash your hands frequently for a minimum of 20 seconds or sing the happy birthday song twice. Avoid touching your face, especially your eyes, nose, and mouth. If soap and water are not readily available, use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer with an alcohol content between 60 and 90%. 70% is ideal.
When you cough or sneeze, cover your nose and mouth with a flexed elbow or a tissue. Dispose of the tissue immediately and then wash your hands. If you notice someone has a fever and cough or other symptoms of respiratory illness, avoid close contact when possible. Let's all do our part to ensure that each and every Grenadian remains healthy. Our health is our collective responsibility.
All right, folks, let's just continue to be very hopeful. We're into our second month now, and we made it through the first one, yeah? I had to do a little adapting here and there, but by and large, we made it. We made it, and we're going to make it the rest of the way. You know, there's one thing I'm really surprised about. I'm not sure whether I did hear somebody mention that this curfew or state of emergency could go on for another 6 months or so. I might be wrong on that, but if it does, it seems to me that the person who made that comment might have been the Prime Minister, I'm not sure. Might have been sending a signal, Pilgrims, you ain't gonna be playing jab this year. I have to check on that. I'm surprised that I haven't heard anything from Spice Mass or anybody else for that matter. Anyhow, John, you got very big eyes. John says he sees Mags in the background. Well, you're too fast, John. How did you know it was Mags? And look, she's actually waving at him. Yeah, okay. Alrighty, folks, time to pull the curtain down. Let's do so with a reading from the Holy Scriptures. First book of Peter, chapter 4, verses 12 to 18, which says, Dear friends, do not be surprised at the fiery ordeal that has come upon you to test you, as though something strange was happening to you. But rejoice, inasmuch as you participate in the sufferings of Christ, so that you may be overjoyed when his glory is revealed. If you are insulted because of the name of Christ, you are blessed, for the Spirit of glory and of God rests on you. If you suffer, it should not be as a murderer or a thief or any other kind of criminal or even as a meddler. However, if you suffer as a Christian, do not be ashamed, but praise God that you bear that name. For it is time for judgment to begin with God's household. And if it begins with us, what will the outcome be for those who do not obey the gospel of God? And if it is hard for the righteous to be saved, what will become of the ungodly and the sinner? So then, those who suffer according to God's will should commit themselves to their faithful Creator and continue to do good. First book of Peter, chapter 4, verses 12 to 18. On that note, folks, you know what? A little while ago, while you guys were, I'm not ashamed to tell you my secrets. A little while ago, while you guys were watching the National Report, snuck into the kitchen. Today, I did a little grocery shopping. And I picked up some waffles. And I'm going to slip back into the kitchen as soon as I pull the plug here. Pull out my, actually they're being warmed up right now, okay? So I'm going to have some waffles, some nice gooey butter, and some nice maple syrup. Damn, life is good. I won't even turn around. She's on that iPad behind me. I won't even turn around to see the expression on her face, because I know I'm going to get a lecture for having said what I just did. I know I'm going to get a lecture. Well, won't be the first time, and it probably won't be the last. John says, tell him, Mags. John, stay out of this, John. Stay out of this. Please, stay out of this. No, anyhow, folks, now you understand why I so enjoy doing what I do. I can be myself. I don't have to be straight with you and, wear a tie and be nah. This is boring stuff. Anyhow, thanks a lot for being with me today. And as always, I send you God's blessings, and I pray that you'll be well enough to be with me tomorrow night. Find out how well I survived those waffles. Huh? Hey, 5 waffles ain't gonna kill anybody. No. See you tomorrow, pilgrims.